We're going to give each person 5. Then we're going to give the other one 5. Then we're going to, hands have to be above my shoulders, any downward motion.
All right, I'm going to tell you right now, JJ the Boss, his arm drop, that chases a race. That's the biggest hustle in drag racing. I'm going to expose it right now. And you heard me right. JJ the Boss, his arm drop, we go to a lot of his races every single year. And the reason we go is because they're fun. It's a hustle. It is a hustle, but everybody understands the hustle. Or if you don't understand the hustle, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you tonight how you can beat JJ the Boss or any other racer out there. He tells you in the driver meeting exactly what the rules are. The rules are very simple. Chases a race is first thing. What that means is if you both take off, if one takes off before the other one and the other one chases, it's a race. It doesn't matter anything that happens before that point or after that point other than getting to the finish line. A chase is a race.
Chase is a race. Chase is a race. If you cross that second line, go talk to the ugly dude. Me ain't got nothing to talk about.
So if you take off, if this guy jumps and you follow, you've got to catch him in order to win. Period. End of story. Rule number 1, chase is a race. Arm drop. So he tells you in the driver's meeting what an arm drop is. When can you go legally without it being a jump? So that's another important thing. What he talks about in the driver's meeting. Listen, I'm going to show you right now.
We're going to give each person 5. Then we're going to give the other one 5. Then we're going to, hands have to be above my shoulders, any downward motion.
Any downward motion is good.
Yeah, hands have to be above my shoulders. Like if I do like this and like and this, you know, that ain't a go. My hands have to be above my shoulders.
He says that at every single race he goes to, the arms have to be, the hands have to be above the shoulders, and there has to be a downward motion. So when there's a downward motion, any downward motion, so boom, up, this right here means the race has started. The hands ain't got to be all the way down to your side. Ain't got to be none of that crap. As soon as the hands start going down, that is when you can legally take off and it not be a jump. So one of the other things that is very important, every race I go to, he will ask all the racers, and it's your home track. He says he don't care. He's at your home track, North Carolina, Virginia, Mississippi, Tennessee, it don't matter. When he's at your track, he wants to see what the racers want to do. So the racers have an option. So they can either go by tire crack. So what tire crack means is when the hands are coming down, when the hands are starting to coming down, if your tire cracks in any upward motion or any motion otherwise in the bring in or whatever's happening, if your back tire cracks and wrinkles before that downward motion, it's a jump. That is not what most people choose to do. Every race we've been to, every single race has never been tire crack. It's been off the front bumper.
Okay, do y'all want to go off the crack of the tire? That means we're going to give everybody 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if your tire cracks, if we're going off crack of the tire, you lose. I don't care if you got a turbo. I don't care if you got 4 Mustangs. If we go off crack of the tire, and when we lock you, if your tire cracks, you lose. Or if y'all want to go off the bumper has to cross, the bumper has to pass, the front bumper has to pass the second line, or it's not a jump. It's totally up to you guys. So we'll vote who wants to go off of crack a tire. Raise your hand.
There you go.
All right, so we're going off the bumper. The bumper has to cross the second line before my hands go down for it to be a jump. And what's your name?
JD Hickenball.
All right, we're going to let you be one of the camera callers. That way I ain't got to worry about it.
Now, what happens off the front bumper? So you say, okay, well, front bumper, cool. So what happens when you're staging with your front bumper? He'll tell you in the driver's meeting, there's going to be 2 lines up there. So you got 2 lines. You got line number 1, think of that as your pre-stage, and line number 2 as your, if you pass it, your stage, if you pass that before the arm drop, you have technically jumped.
We'll paint 1 line, and then about 10 or 12 inches, there'll be a second line.
Now, there's going to be a gap in there. The gap's going to be somewhere between 6, 8, 10 inches. They usually get up there and they spray paint it. It ain't even. It's just kind of, you know, it's a wavy line, but it's close. You get the idea. So the starting line is moved up. The reason they do that is so that you can, they got to have it so that they got a camera so you can see Chase as a race. So what they do is they set a camera up on the side, and that way they can see both front bumpers, or if you don't have a bumper, whatever your front end piece is, you don't stage with the tire, you stage with the bumper. The bumper is the most forward part on your car, or the most forward part that is there. That's also going to give you the wind light at the finish line. So what happens, very important. So remember, we got 10 or 12 inches here, right? So 10 or 12 inches, and the bumper has to be in that range. So when you're staging, here's the secret. Here's the hot secret that you got to do when you're doing this. Get your crew guy not to pull you all the way up to that first one, that second one. If you pull all the way to the second one, then as soon as you let go of the trans brake button, it's going to move, and then it's going to be technically a jump. But the further you can move back from that front line, so the second line's here, bumper's got to be somewhere in between there. If you barely get that thing right here, now you've got a 6 or 8 or 10 inch movement where the car technically has not crossed the line. No bump. No bump. So what does that mean? So that means that you don't let go of the button when you see the arm drop. You let go of the trans brake button. This is the secret sauce. Now, y'all don't tell nobody, okay? So when I'm at his next arm drop at I-57, I don't know if I'm going to make it to that one, but next time they're on the East Coast, I promise you I'm going to be there. So the next arm drop, y'all don't use this information on me. I actually got outrun last time because the same information got used on me. What you do is you let go of the trans brake button. They do 5, 5, and then as soon as she gets done with that 5, when she pulls in or he pulls in and they're right here, and then they start to jump. As soon as they jump right there, you go ahead and let go of that trans brake button. If you let go of the trans brake button right there, remember, when you're racing a 400 Pro tree, you don't wait for the green light when you let go of the button, right? If you do, you're late. So when you see the flash of the ambers, you let go of the trans brake button. So imagine that movement right there is where the flash of the ambers, that's where you need to leave. And by the time they're rocket fast. They do this a lot. As soon as they go up, by the time you let go of the trans brake button, they're up and they're coming down, and then you have not crossed that second line yet. That's how you beat the opponent. They're being late on the tree and they missed it. If you wait for them to actually get right here, you're late. You're going to lose unless y'all both are late. But that's the way you get an advantage. And usually it's so close at that point, even if it's a little bit early. Say, sometimes you'll let go of the button and the car kind of reacts a little faster because you got it higher up on boost or something. And that's usually okay, because what happens is it's so close to, like here, then the person you're racing can't sit. And they've got that option too, right? So if they sit, if this person jumps and they sit there, and that's truly a jump, if your bumper crossed that first line before the arm started coming down, then if they sit, you have lost. And he tells you all that in the driver's meeting. So you got to listen, you got to pay attention in the driver's meeting. And so that's how you beat it, though. It is a hustle, but every single racer there, we had 23 or 26 cars last time, and every single racer heard the rules. They heard what the things you could do versus what you can't do. And, you know, it's up to you at that point to take the rules and run with it. And I'm telling y'all all this. A lot of people already know it. If you run a lot of his events, a lot of people don't like his events. They think it's not drag racing. I'll tell you, JJ the Boss's races are some of the most fun racing we go to. There's never any drama. There's always a little bit of drama. Obviously, it's a chase as a race. But they make the call. It's a clean run show. Pam and those guys, they always, always, always make the race happen. It's fast turnaround time. It's a great show for the spectators and the fans. They want to see racing. They want to see it. $5,000 free entry. You pay $60, $30 to get in the gate, $30 to get on the starting line if you want to be out there any other time. So $60 is your entry fee for a $5,000 guaranteed purse. They ain't never, not one time, not paid their $5,000. They ain't never, not one time said, oh, we ain't got the car count, because there's always a bunch of cars there. So I would suggest, listen to this, go back, play it a couple times. When you're at the driver's meeting, listen to what he says. Listen to the rules. Now, if for some odd reason everybody says, oh, we want the tire crack to happen, not the bumper, then obviously you need to kind of pay attention. You might not be able to leave quite as early. But listen to the rules and take the rules and put them to your advantage, and don't be late. Last race, I was late. Next race I go to, which I will anytime he's close by, any JJ DeBoss race that is close to North Carolina within a couple hours, I'm going to be there. And you need to be there too. I'm going to be early next time. I'm going to be letting go of the button early, like the same thing like Frosty did. He let go of the button at the right time. I was late and I couldn't catch him. Now, if you got a bazillion horsepower like Axeman, it don't clearly matter. He can be late, they can jump, it don't matter. He's going to run you down. Most cars don't really have that kind of power, so it just is what it is. So listen to the rules. Go to JJ DeBoss's races when you see them. When you see them around, they're really fun, man. They're exciting. I know a lot of racers, they don't like it, but I'm telling you, even bracket racers, I'm starting to see them come out, and they're having a good time because it's very simple rules, no BS. You're out there having fun, and the fans, the spectators, man, they love it. They enjoy the racing. It's always good drag racing. Usually it's like decent prep, but it's slicks. You better be on slicks. If you show up on a freaking radial, most likely you're not going to be able to get down unless you're at a different track. Sometimes it might work out. But JJ DeBoss, that's the hustle. How to beat the hustle so you can do it. Take this advice, but don't use it against me next time you see me at the track. If you're racing me, I need you to wait till the arms are coming down before you let go of the trans brake button. And hopefully I'm going to be already scooted on out of there and you ain't going to be able to catch me. Comment, like, and subscribe. We will see y'all soon. Comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
If a call is so close that the small guy and Axeman, if they can't make a decision within 5 minutes, then it's going to be a rerun. If they can't clearly make a decision.